Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerome B. Lane Jr., a.k.a. Jerry Bishops. This is the Jerry Bishops Live Show, coming to you from Bravery Studios here in Clifton, New Jersey. I hope everyone is doing amazing this afternoon. The weather has been fantastic the past 2 or 3 days. I'm hoping that everyone is doing well. I had an awesome weekend. I hope you guys did too. I always like to give a little recap of what I did during the weekend. Everybody who knows me well knows that I'm a movie buff. So, I went to see John Wick on Friday, and on Sunday after church, I took the kids to see Pokemon, Pikachu, Detective. Both movies were, John Wick was amazing. The Pokemon movie, I didn't think I was going to like it. I was prepared to be on my phone during the whole time. The movie actually kept my attention. The kids loved it. So, sum it up, that was my weekend. Spent a lot of time with the family. Hopefully everyone is doing well. What I would like to do is let you guys know what's going on today. Our show is going to be very, very, very interesting. We have the New Jersey 34th District Assemblywoman Britnee in Timberlake, who is going to be calling in shortly. Once again, Assemblywoman, New Jersey Assemblywoman Britnee in Timberlake will be calling in. She represents Clifton, East Orange, Orange, and Montclair, so she'll be calling in soon. I want to let everybody know we can still participate in the show. You can still participate in the show by emailing me, okay, the positive information and the positive people who are doing amazing things in your community. You can email me at jerrybishops.com, jerrybishops@gmail.com. That's JERRYBISHOPS @gmail.com. jerrybishops@gmail.com. And you guys are more than welcome to call in, 862-621-9536. The number's on the screen. And you can call in and let us know what's going on. While we're waiting, I just want to send some congratulations and do some shout-outs while I can. I want to shout out, I want to say happy birthday to Johnny Cornelius. Happy 17th birthday to Johnny Cornelius. He goes to Stepinac High School. He's an amazing football player. He plays offensive line there. And I got some other major news. I want to say congratulations to him and congratulations to his mom, Yasmin Hurston. Johnny was offered a 4-year scholarship to play football at Howard University. That's big. That's big. Let's give him a round of applause because, you know, Mom Dukes, she really, she really played the role of football mom. You know, you got the soccer moms, you got the football moms that's out there doing their thing. And that young man is an amazing gentleman. And we're so happy that that's just one of the offers that he got. All right. So, secondly, my brother, Daryl Tillman, graduated from St. John's University today with his MBA, Master's in Business Administration. So shout out to you, my brother, Big Daryl Tillman. Congrats to you, my brother. Like he said, that means more zeros. More zeros. Happy 4th anniversary to Jamal and Erica Simmons. Happy anniversary to you guys. God bless you and your family and your union. I wish you many more years of happiness. Also in the news is a gentleman by the name of Robert F. Smith. Now, we're going to give him a round of applause as well. Robert F. Smith is paying off the student loans of all of 2019's graduates of Howard University. That is major. That is major. He is paying off 100% of the student loans from the graduating class of 2019 from Howard University. That's huge. All right. And last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to one of my favorite MCs, the notorious B.I.G. B.I.G. is one of my favorite MCs. I just want to say happy birthday to the brother. If I can get a B.I.G. story in before the call comes in. For those of you who don't know, I used to work at Sony Music Studios and back in the days. And I remember they asked me to work late one evening because B.I.G. was coming in for a session. And that night, it was like so many of them there in that session. It was like Usher, Lil' Kim, Mariah Carey was in there, Jermaine Dupri, Missy Elliott. It was a whole bunch of people in that session. It was actually a song for Usher's album that Lil' Kim was on. And they was like, B.I.G.'s coming, and the regular elevator's not working, so can you bring him down on a freight elevator, and if he needs to go up and down, just, help him out. I said, cool. So he got there. He told me to come to the front desk, say B.I.G.'s there. I'm like, oh, bro, what's going on? Nice to meet you and everything like that. He's like, cool. So I guess he had been there before. He's like, what happened to the other elevator? I was like, the other elevator's not working. He's like, y'all got me on this freight elevator. He's like, if Mariah was here, y'all have that other elevator working. He had a great sense of humor, man. He had a great sense of humor. I remember he wanted me to call upstairs to craft service, and he took out this wad of money. I was like, what you need? What you need? He was like, I want some Dom P and Big Macs. Dom P and Big Macs. That's my man, B.I.G. Rest in peace to the greatest MC of all time. Happy birthday, my man, B.I.G. Mr. Dom P and Big Macs. So, the Assemblywoman from the 34th District of the state of New Jersey. Like I said, her name is Britnee in Timberlake. She'll be calling in shortly. A couple of things about her. She's quite accomplished. Yes, I just doing the research on Assemblywoman Timberlake. She is a very, very, very active and involved Assemblywoman. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, very, very engaged with her community. And I'm happy to have her on the show. Very happy to have her on the show. And we're going to get a chance to ask her some questions. Going to get an opportunity to ask her some questions. Some of the awards that she's won. I was just looking over her resume and some of the awards that she's won. The Donald Payne Sr. Award. She received that award from the NAACP. She received the Breaking Glass Ceilings Award from the New Leaders Council. She received the 2017 Danny Glover Power of Dreams Award. And she also won the Coretta Scott King Award from Essex County. She won a Community Service Award from the Guyanese American Heritage Foundation. She's won a Community Service Award from the Social Etiquette Club of East Orange. and she's also won a Community Service Award from Dorson Community Foundation. So, as I stated, she is quite accomplished. And when we get her on the line, we will be able to talk about some of the bills that she's co-sponsored. So, we are awaiting her call at any moment. I just want to send a shout out to all of the local public servants in East Orange, including our mayor, Mayor Ted Green. Some of the councilmen, I want to send a shout out to them: Mustafa Brent, Christopher Aw, Burge Linnaeus, Kasim Gomez, Mustafa Brent. Am I missing anybody? Not sure if I'm missing anybody. Shout out to the mayor of Orange, New Jersey, Mayor Warren. And, all of them have been really, really supportive of what we got going here. And I encourage you to, go out and support the events that they have going on in their towns. Because, we say, we want things for our community. We want things, different programs. And it's important that you support the programs that, are currently being given in your wards, in your city and community. Show these folks that you care. And I'm sure they'll continue to support your town. We are going to go into a short break. And, okay, one moment, I'm receiving a call. Good evening. Jerry Bishop's here.
Good evening. Assemblywoman Britnee Timberlake calling in.
Hi, how are you, Assemblywoman Timberlake?
I'm well. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. First of all, we want to thank you and thank your staff for assisting us in arranging this.
Yes, thank you. We have a wonderful staff. Thank you for having me.
Great. Yes. So I just want to say that as I was doing some research on you, you're a very busy woman. You are a very busy woman. I looked at some of the awards, and I went over some of the awards. The Donald Payne Senior Award from the NAACP, the Breaking Glass Ceilings Award from the New Leaders Council, the 2017 Danny Glover Power of Dreams Award, the Coretta Scott King Award from Essex County, and a host of community service awards from the Guyanese Heritage Foundation, the Social Etiquette Club of East Orange, and the Dorson Community Foundation. So we feel honored to have you on our show this evening.
Thank you. To God be the glory. It's not about awards. It's about what you do.
Amen.
To help change the lives of others.
Yes, that is so true. So I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
All right. I read that you come from a military family, a family with a military background. So what was it like, growing up and traveling, with your family, different locations all over the world?
Yeah. And thank you again for having me and for the question. So, it was exciting.
Okay.
It gave me an opportunity to meet people from all over the globe and to make lifelong friends. It's an experience I would not trade for the world. My parents met and fell in love in New Jersey at Upsala College in East Orange. Oh. And my father enlisted while he was in East Orange. And my dad was a basketball player for Upsala. And then he enlisted and joined the Army. And, he had his children while he was deployed to various places around the globe. And it was really just exciting. We learned in my household about duty, service, and honor.
Okay.
And both of my parents exemplified that as my mother traveled around with them and was very supportive. And she even became an educator of the mentally and physically challenged at our school, our elementary school that we went to.
Yes.
While my dad, he sometimes would have to go on different tours too that we couldn't, of course, accompany him on, such as war. So I always say my father is a living hero.
Yes, we thank him for his service.
And yeah, he's Army, retired, 82nd Airborne, Sergeant First Class, and he also was a jump master.
Wow.
So this is a guy who was willing not just to put his life on the line for his country, but to jump out of airplanes into war.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of stock at which I come from.
Yes, I see. That's amazing. It's an amazing story. Now, I read that he enlisted at an armory that was on Central Avenue in East Orange?
Well, I'm sure there was a recruiting station.
Okay.
Yeah, in East Orange. I don't know about an armory.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I wonder where that's at now, what that was. Okay. So, I also see that we share some similar, have a similar background somewhat, because I grew up as a member, youth council in college division, NAACP, and I was also in the AmeriCorps as well. So what was your experiences like in the AmeriCorps and also working with the NAACP, and why do you feel like it's important for young adults to kind of get involved with those types of organizations?
Yeah, I think it's imperative that we do that. Like Shirley Chisholm said, service is the rent that we pay on this earth. And really, AmeriCorps, as well as the NAACP, my involvement there, was nothing but service.
Yes.
And working for people. So actually, I was the housing chairperson for the Montclair NAACP for a little while. But while I was there, we were able to get affordable housing project in Montclair, not in a ward where which was most commonly associated with having affordability. We got it outside of that ward, outside of the fourth ward. And, we did a lot of great work, and I met some friends that I'm still friends with today, and we just have a bond that no one else can have. Shout out to my sister friend, Shantae Palmer, who does government relations for Montclair State now. But that's actually how her and I met, and we've been serving the community ever since. And AmeriCorps was such a fabulous experience. I was able to teach welfare to work and to work with the population in need of social services. And having that opportunity, I try to go above and beyond in everything that I do, because I do it for people.
Yes.
And we did more than just what was required. We actually, I wrote curriculums to teach people how to write and to pass the GED. And, we tutored students in how to do that, and, really just helping out people when they're most vulnerable is, I find, whenever they would come and need our services and welfare. And, treating people with nothing but dignity while they are feeling like not everyone is. So it was an excellent experience, and all of these experiences, have an impact on the way in which I legislate. Got it.
Yes, AmeriCorps was an awesome experience for me as well, and so was working with the NAACP. I got another question. Could you briefly let us know how Assemblyman Giblin influenced you personally and professionally?
Yeah, sure. So since I was an undergraduate at Seton Hall University, I get my bachelor's in political science with a minor in religious studies, the Assemblyman had been mentoring me. And he wasn't mentoring me to say, hey, one day you're going to run for office.
Okay.
No, he really took a liking to the advocacy issues in which I was constantly speaking about and chatting with him about. And he would invite me to join his team at various different venues and things and events. And I was just so appreciative of that, because I got to meet a lot of people And I got to begin to have conversations with people who could actually effectuate change. You know, and I never took that for granted. I was always very grateful for that opportunity, because a lot of times we have these dinner table conversations.
Yes.
We have, you know, with our families and whatnot. But you know, to be able to have a conversation with someone who can actually take the policy back and implement it I saw it as an opportunity that I was ever grateful for. And during that time, I didn't foresee, you know, myself running for office. I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it to just help people.
Right.
And particularly around housing. And the Assemblyman saw me grow. He saw me go from being an undergrad and, you know, a waitress, starting a catering company to try to get myself through college.
Wow.
Yeah, but and then he even saw me whenever, you know, falling upon financial distress and trying to pay for college and not being able to, when I was working for under $10 an hour and having a hard time making ends meet, you know.
Right.
And he was my mentor through all of that. And it was just, I can't tell you what an honor it is, full circle, to have then been approached to run for office, to fill the seat of Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver, who also is my mentor. And just like God, I am now the partner in the Assembly to Thomas Gibbling, the very gentleman who originally saw something in me professionally, of course, other than and aside from my parents, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's an
and
amazing,
my family.
Yes, that's an amazing story. It's an amazing story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in 2011, you established the Essex County Land Trust, which was
The Essex Community Land Trust.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Essex Community Land Trust. It was a nonprofit that helped provide affordable housing for working families. And in 2019, you were one of the primary sponsors of A15, which is a bill to raise the minimum wage in the state of New Jersey, and it will eventually hit $15. Why did you feel like it was important to keep the interest of working families front and center?
Because that's who I represent. We grew up working poor. Can you imagine that you can grow up and be working poor when your dad is jumping out of airplanes into war? It's a thing.
Yes.
And it's something, you know, issues of military families, it's a whole nother topic and a whole nother issues that need to be addressed. But, you know, having grown up that way and understanding what it is for people who are just trying to live the American dream, but are having a hard time keeping food on the table, I found it to be important.
Yes.
I worked for less than $15 an hour. I worked for less than 10.
Yes.
And I was a food service worker, a baker. And you know what? I know how hard.
Yes.
And taking four buses to where I needed to go for employment.
Right.
And do you know how frustrating it is to work so hard, to have scars on your arm from baking, and to still not be able to do the things that you need to do? Right. And it's not a good thing. Everyone should be afforded the opportunity to contribute to the economy, to go to the movies, to get a slice of pizza. Like, there's very basic things that a lot of people take for granted that many families can't do. And it's those families that are making, you know, minimum wage at its state before we raised it. So, you know, that's why that was important. And yes, I did found the Essex Community Land Trust. It was founded long before I sought to run for office, and its purpose of being founded was to create and preserve permanent affordable housing and homeownership opportunities, particularly in suburban areas. So there are a lot of single mothers who are homeowners in areas such as Montclair and Bloomfield, as well as those who make, who were able to purchase two-family houses and to become a landlord on a $30,000 salary because we made it affordable to do so. And we were changing the net worth of individuals by providing that opportunity and also putting them in a position to be a landlord while providing the education for home ownership and the constant help and aid that the organization provides. So that's the heart of it.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for that work. Thank you for that work. Let's discuss the importance of another bill in which you were one of the primary sponsors. I believe it was A3115. It states that the Attorney General handles the investigation and the prosecution of a crime involving a person's death by law enforcement, either while acting in an officer's capacity or while in an officer's custody. Could you explain to us why you were, why there was some passion behind this bill and your co-sponsor of it?
Yes. So I was actually a prime sponsor of the bill, first prime, and we did it because it was a long time coming.
Okay.
When I think of my hero, Dr. King,
yes,
we look and see what it was that his whole mission was made up of. It was actually a three-part mission.
Mm-hmm.
It was to win equal voting rights, to win economic justice through the Poor People's Campaign, and to end police brutality.
Okay.
And the bill was just saying that in the event that someone loses their life during interaction with law enforcement, that there will be an independent investigation, and therefore that family who is going through that unfortunate experience does not have to question whether or not the investigation has been tainted or anything. And some people, they pushed back against it. They thought it was anti-police or anti-prosecutor. What are you saying about our system?
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, here's the thing. It's not anti-police.
No.
We do need our police officers, okay?
Yes.
I do not agree with extremism on either side.
Right.
We need our police officers, and many of us have police officers in our family. I know I do.
Yes.
And, but this is about making sure that we don't have those officers who are armed with guns, badges, and biases. This is about making sure that people who act with excessive use of force are being held accountable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you represented Essex County internationally during a trip to Ghana, West Africa. What was that experience like?
Oh, it was fabulous. It was so beautiful. Tears began to flow while I was even on the plane.
Wow.
Before we had even landed, just looking down at the earth and the color of the soil, the rich orangish glow to where we landed on the continent. And it was just an experience like no other.
Wow.
I had an opportunity to go to the point of no return,
Yes.
which is where
right on the coast, right.
the slave castles were.
Mm-hmm.
And once those slave ships were docked and set sail,
Yes.
our ancestors made the middle passage in the journey, and
yes.
Went all throughout the Caribbean and the United States and other places as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just such a deeply moving experience. And I recommend that everyone go, regardless of heritage or ethnicity, that everyone should travel to Africa to see its beauty and its splendor.
Right, right.
And I want to thank the Parliament for inviting me and having me as their guest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to one day making that trip as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now, there was a point when you were helping to raise the awareness of the Boko Haram and their actions in Nigeria in April of 2014. Could you explain to us why you felt like this was something that definitely needed to get the attention of different people here in the state of New Jersey?
Well, sure. Well, injustice anywhere should be injustice everywhere.
Absolutely.
And Congressman Payne, who is doing a great job in Congress and of many things that he's taken up, he and his father as well was very close to the continent of Africa and very in touch and in tune with the issues. And in West Africa, in Nigeria, there's a terrorist group called Boko Haram.
Yes.
You may remember that there was a campaign called Bring Back Our Girls.
Yes.
That this terrorist group had actually taken girls from different towns and hid them. And held them hostage because Boko Haram actually stands for Western Education is Sin. And they felt as though that girls should have no education and that they should be forced into a particular faith.
Right.
And again, that's an extremist action. And they also burn babies. The year in which Congressman Payne, under his leadership, and I, stood boldly and called the community together to talk about this, because we both recognize that our constituency is very diverse.
Yes.
And we represent everyone, and that includes also Nigerian Americans. And there was a lot of unrest in Nigerian households who were still, connected to their country.
Yes.
With the news of Boko Haram burning babies. Can you imagine the evil? So we call the community together, and the congressman has been speaking boldly in his role on the federal level about the need to get rid of this terrorist group and just take them out. Because we cannot have anyone, when you think of the many contributions that have been, contributed by various people, all ethnicities around the globe.
Yes.
But, Nigerian Americans too, everyone's life matters. Right?
Absolutely.
And we have to make sure that we don't just turn a blind eye and not identify injustice and call it out when we see it.
Yes, because as it said, in April 2014, there were 276 female students that were kidnapped. So I began to read more, and I see that you were one of the primary sponsors of Bill A2592, which is basically an additional training that applicants who are getting their commercial driver's license should go and get in regards to handling and responding suspected human trafficking. Now, I found that interesting because I was wondering, these young men and women who are out on the road and they're driving their trucks, are they actually like on the front line or in terms of witnessing like human trafficking? Are they on the front line with like law enforcement, and they can definitely assist? I would assume so, because
well, they might see something. The concept is to see something, say something, right?
Right, absolutely.
So out on the road,
yes.
Hey, listen, can you tell me what's happening at the pit stop on 95 right now?
Okay.
No, you cannot.
Oh,
but
wow.
you know where there are eyes, and
That's right.
This is about empowering the everyday citizen to stop atrocities that are happening under our nose. We don't think about human trafficking because it's such an underground thing that most people don't even recognize it when they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
And it could be happening right under our nose, right before our eyes. And
right.
Again, this is about protecting it, and it usually also affects women. This is about protecting our women globally. This is about protecting our women domestically.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many children come up missing?
Yes.
And we don't know, and there's, no body found, no anything found. This is actually a national crisis, and I appreciate there's a lot of celebrities that have really been ringing and sounding the bell on this. Like I know Ashton Kutcher is really very much so involved in raising awareness
yes.
for this epidemic. But so it's about empowering those who do have eyes on the roads,
yes.
which is where human trafficking is being used for throughway.
Yes, that makes total sense. It makes total sense. Now, I want to ask you this before I let you go. We know currently, as of May 15th, 2019, 8 states have passed bills to limit the procedure of abortion. Ohio, Utah, Missouri, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. What are your thoughts on this attack on Roe versus Wade and a woman's right to choose?
Yeah, I see it as an attack on a woman's right to choose, definitely. And I am pro a woman making decisions for herself and for her body. And I am against any man making that decision for her. I find it to be a sad day.
Yes.
That a woman could lose the right to make those decisions. I am not pro-abortion.
Right.
When people say that, oh, well, you're for a woman's right to choose, that means you must love abortion. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Anyone who loves abortion, something is wrong with them, and maybe we should be talking about mental health.
Absolutely.
What I am saying is that I do love a woman's right to choose.
Yes.
And to choose what happens to her body. And a woman should not have to be or go to jail because of that. It's very unfortunate. There's a lot of different situations that can occur, even in the event of rape or incest.
Yes.
To say that, a woman, for a court of law or for legislators to have to say to a woman that they must keep a child in the event that they're raped, it's just overbearing.
Yes.
And it really is a very personal choice. Now, what I find to be most ironic are many of the advocates and the politicians who are pushing to roll back Roe v. Wade is that they are so against a woman choosing what happens to her body. They are so against forcing a woman to have a child. I'm sorry, they are so against making a woman have a child against her will, is what they're constantly, perpetuating. But what they aren't for are social services to take care of our children. They will debate until blue in the face, when is a life a life? But then it seems as if the life is in existence outside of the woman's body, that they don't care about it. This is the same group that has to be reminded that Black Lives Matter too.
Yes.
This is the same group that is constantly, not interested in funding extracurricular things for and prevention things in education. This is the same group that is not looking for solutions on the collegiate level to reduce student loans. This is the same group that is against, there being some type of supplementary food program for working families that can't afford food. This is the same group that is constantly standing on the line and trying to cut services for families and for babies and for people. But they are saying that that they should have the right to decide what a woman chooses for her family and her body. And that's wrong.
It is. On every level, it's wrong. Wow. Once again, I want to thank you. I also want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything going on that, we can, use this platform to promote, or any event or anything that you would like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, so I'm actually on the ballot running for office, seeking re-election to be the 34th District Assemblywoman. That's East Orange, Clifton, and Montclair.
Yes.
I'm on the ballot with Assemblyman Thomas P. Giblin, my mentor, like I stated before.
Yes.
And I'm looking for your support by way of a vote. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, it's Britnee Timberlake, Britnee Timberlake. It's the same on Facebook as it is on the gram, and also on Twitter. It's ASW Timberlake. And, I'm a woman, and I'm running for office, and I'm a minority.
Yes.
And those three things combined sometimes make it a little bit difficult to raise money. So I'm asking also if there's someone out there that believes in what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing for people to make a contribution. Even if it's just $5, please go to electtimberlake.com and please contribute to my campaign, because we do have challengers.
Yes.
And we have challengers running under a false under a false verbiage such as calling themselves progressive, when the truth is, when you take a look at anything in which they've done, you really don't see much of a record built. I have a solid record in which I'm standing on, and I have a solid record of having the backs of people and everyday people.
Yes.
And I just need to know that I can also count on the people to help me remain in office, and do so by contributing, even if it's a small amount. And thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, we thank you for the opportunity to have you on the show. Once again, that's electtimberlake.com. Please, everyone, go to that website and donate what you can. We want to make sure that we get Miss Timberlake back in office. Okay, if you want to go to her website, you can see all that she's done for the residents of New Jersey. And we want to thank you again for coming on.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a blessed evening.
All right. You too. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Assemblywoman Timberlake is an amazing woman. Okay, I definitely invite you to go to her website and just look at what she's done in the short amount of time that she, has been in office, and look at what she's done prior to becoming an Assemblywoman. Very, very, very impressive. I mean, I could have spoken for 2 hours or more in regards to all of the bills that she was the primary sponsor of, or that she co-sponsored. A lot of it having to do with, families and people who don't necessarily receive the support, from people that are, in these elected positions. So, once again, let's go to electtimberlake.com. All right, we're going to go into a short break. I'll be back. This is Jerry Bishop's Live at Bravery Studios. Okay, this is Jerry Bishop's Live here at Bravery Studios. Once again, we want to thank Assembly Timberlake for calling in. Like I stated, she's doing amazing work. We want to go to her website. I'm going to go to her website tonight, electtimberlake.com. Okay, before I go, there are a couple of announcements that I do need to make. Let's see. Saturday, June 1st, East Orange Spring Cleanup, hosted by East Orange City Hall. Saturday, June 1st at 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. You all are meeting at 44 City Hall Plaza in East Orange. Join Mayor Ted Green and the East Orange City Council and the Department of Public Works for our citywide spring cleanup. Supplies will be provided at City Hall Plaza starting at 8:30. If you would like to join a neighborhood group or organization, please call the Department of Public Works at 973-266-5330. Free t-shirts for the first 100 participants. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Let's Go Fishing mentoring program starts this Tuesday for girls and boys ages 8 to 17. There is a $10 registration fee. For more information, please call 973-414-4141. Like I stated, Let's Go Fishing mentoring program is open to girls and boys ages 8 to 17, and it runs from May 20th to August 17th. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., and it's on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Like I stated, there is a $10 registration fee. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. In the city of East Orange. Bear with me one moment. There was one other event that I wanted to share with you all. Oh, okay. On behalf of Mayor Ted R. Green and East Orange City Council, they want to congratulate the Cicely Tyson School of Performing and Fine Arts High School Choir for taking first place at McDonald's Gospel Fest 2019. They competed against youth and adult gospel choirs from all over the tri-state area. The winning song, which was accompanied by choreography, was I Know I've Been Changed, under the first-time direction of Mr. Troy Bell, who formerly led Tyson's middle school choir. All right? So shout out to the choir at Cicely Tyson, doing big things at the McDonald's Gospel Fest. And let's see there. I guess that's it. I guess that's it for today. Well, listen, what's done is done. We want to thank everyone for tuning in to Jerry Bishop's Live. Once again, I want to start highlighting all of the positive community events and all of the people that are doing great things in the community. Email me, jerrybishops@gmail.com. If we don't promote the positivity in the community, who will? Peace and love. See you guys next time. Jerry Bishop's Live.